Well, welcome to Behind the Build. I'm here today with my man, Barry Eggert. He is the mastermind behind R&D Custom Builders. If you think that this thing runs without Barry, you're sadly mistaken. So, Barry, I like to start all these things with tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your family, just a little bit about yourself personally.
From Lavernia.
Yeah.
Graduated here in 99.
99.
Lived here. I think I tried to move away a couple times, but you can't. Lived out here my whole life, so it is what it is.
We all move away and come back, right?
We all do. Yeah, every one
Yeah.
of us. So, it's a great town. Love living here, It's a short commute. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So, but I've been drawing houses now since I was in 5th grade, essentially, is when I started
Back with the old
sketching.
paper and ruler.
Oh, yeah. I always credit my high school teacher, Mr. Gulke. If anyone went to Lavernia, you'll know who he was.
We all had Golke.
In getting me really into this.
Mhm.
I didn't know it could be really a career choice for me until I started really drawing in his class, and really getting into it. So, I had drawn and sketched floor plans forever because my dad did it and my grandmother did it. And, I was really into it. So the fact that I get to do this for a living is mind blowing to me sometimes. So,
That's pretty cool. So how long you and Christine been married?
It'll be 25 years next year.
25. One son.
One son.
And now you joined the Grandpa Club
I
with
joined
me.
the Grandpa Club. Yeah, my granddaughter is 2 months old now. So saw her this weekend.
And what's her name?
Willow.
Willow. That's right. Couldn't remember. That's cool. So you got a family, you're doing the Grandpa Club.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love, living in your hometown. This is awesome, huh?
Yeah, I honestly can't feel like I could be any more spoiled than what I already am. So,
well, You spoil us for sure, and you spoil our customers. So it's always like to talk about how God brought this amazing team together. And Barry, it was somewhere around 2010, and I was coaching T-ball.
T-ball.
Right, Lane was playing. Your son was on his team, and I just went on my own, and I was building a couple 3-4 houses a year, doing a bunch of remodels and whatever it could. Back in the 07 through 09 world, it was pretty tough. So you scraped together whatever you could. And remember, you come up to me at the baseball field and said, "Man, you ever do anything drawn?" And I was like, "Well, I use a guy here, but yeah, maybe I'll look you up." So I'm good habit, bad habit, whatever you want to call it. I'll save everybody's number. If I meet you, I save your number. I got right at 4,000 numbers saved to my phone. So I save everybody's number. And then when Dustin and I partnered up, we were not in business long, and all of a sudden it's like, hey man, subbing this architect stuff out's just not working. It's just not working.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "Well, and to be honest with you, I think we need to bring a guy in house and just draw solely for us, and we can do our own thing and our own custom dreams." And he goes, "Well, do you know anybody?" And I said, "Absolutely. I met a guy a long time ago. Let's look him up." So I remember calling you and saying, "Hey, Barry, you still drawing?" You're like, "Yeah, I'm drawing all the time." I'm like, "Where are you drawing?" And we don't need to mention their name, but
right, yeah.
another home builder. And he goes, I said, "Would you ever be interested in coming here?" And you're like, "When can you meet?"
Yeah. I can start tomorrow.
So we brought you in, and it's like, man, this is gonna work, Barry. I loved what you did, but you can just spread a little bit on this. But it looked like where you worked before, your hands were tied a little more.
Pretty much, yeah. They were a semi-custom, so I rarely drew anything from scratch for those guys. So here I'd start with a blank page every time.
Every time,
super fun.
Yes.
So yeah, it was moving walls and changing roof lines.
Right.
It's nothing special there.
So you gotta commute closer to your home.
Oh,
You got to draw a true custom home every time you
Yeah.
saw it. And I was thinking this morning before we were going to do this, and it's like, when we first started, me and you used to sit with a customer.
yeah.
That's how we started, if you remember.
Yeah,
So
just me and you.
I would sit, and Barry would sit, and we would just sit in in our conference room. We didn't have a model back then. And sit in our conference room, and we just started saying, "Tell me what you want," and we'd bring up pictures and stuff on the internet, stuff we had built. But it was just kind of just back and forth off people's brains, and that's the way we started. And then of course we grew into having a sales team, and then we got busy enough where Barry's like, "Man, I need help here. I need help here." And I was like, "What are we going to do?" And I was like, "Well, I'll tell you what, Barry, let's just get you to draw and not have that meeting anymore, and transfer those notes to you." So Barry helped us create that sheet that we go off of now, the design checklist. And Barry's like, "Fill this out." And he works great with the sales team. And and it's a pretty cool process
Yeah.
for us to do.
I
So,
enjoy it.
Yeah, you enjoy it. So, what's your favorite part of that process when you're drawing those custom homes?
Well, typically what I do when I do get the checklist from the sales,
Uh-huh.
I like calling them and getting in their head so I
Right.
can understand what the customer is wanting and what
Sure.
they want their end product to look like. So I enjoy that most, trying to get a picture of it in my head before I even draw a line. And typically by the time I hang up with them, I'm like, I know what I'm going to draw. I got it. So, and I just start drawing from there.
Yeah.
So,
So and it always happens, not always, but I'd say 75% of the time when a homeowner comes in, they see the model and they're like,
Yep.
well, how would I change the model? And I'm like, look, Barry is not going to start with this plan. He's not. So just tell me what you want. And I promise you, when you tell me what you want, Barry's going to create it from scratch anyway. So let's just eat. And even if a homeowner's like, I really love this home, I mean, you may look at it to get some ideas of the way that home is, but at the end of the day, you're still starting with a blank sheet because
Every
a homeowner always change something. Let's say you want to change the location of the pantry or the sides of the bedrooms or the location of a study. I mean, you're starting over anyway,
yeah.
right? You're starting
Every
over with your
time.
box. So, we do a lot. And when people see our models, it's like they always want to kind of duplicate those,
Right.
duplicate them. So we've been talking on these podcasts about us getting a new model cranked up this year. And I tasked Barry with something this time. I said, Barry, here's the deal. I'm not going to say anything. I want you to get out there, man. Just get out there as far as you can and design something cool and unique and awesome custom. And Barry, and you rolled it out about 2 weeks ago, and I'll go, whew. Yeah, you got way out of the box on this one.
It was way out the box. So,
So then I tasked him with, okay, so go from what we had and somewhere in between the far out. And anyway, so what are you coming up with now? You said you had a thought the other night. What?
now I had a thought on the way home the other night about doing a 2-story because we hadn't done a 2-story model yet, and hopefully you're surprised when you see it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. So
Well, our marketing team, they said, well, you ever thought about a 2-story? And I'm like, we don't get a lot of requests for 2 stories, but they present
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the nice spiral staircase and you do that loft area where it, opens up that main living area. You're opening up to that second floor and
You're
it just,
gonna like this.
it
one,
makes it
man.
grand,
Yeah.
So, but again, we can do in the custom world design, even if we have a 2-story model, I mean, you have to do a 2-story, obviously, but
Right.
we can show what we can do. And some people may say, I love a 2-story. I don't want the master up there or the kids' rooms up there, but I want to go up there with a theater room or maybe go up there with the playroom or the study.
Just a nice little bonus room upstairs.
A bonus room, right?
Yeah, those are
But
always
we
fun.
want to showcase those grand stairs, but we don't want to use them all the time, So it's I
Right.
want to showcase. So that's what Barry. I like where you're going already because I didn't even give you that thought, right?
It was just a whim.
You just came up with it. So it's like the U-shape homes. The first one he threw at us was a awesome design, the U-shape pool in the middle,
Yeah.
and then of course we got a shop in the back with the restroom and storage for the stuff. So that model will be built out in our subdivision in Century Oaks,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe next year we'll build a model out in Cabasa Estates because the rendering of that one turned out awesome.
It really did. Yeah, I really like that house. So can't wait to build it.
So what brings your motivation to you every day? Do you think? Like what just? I know you love.
I
You
mean-
say the biggest thing I say. What do you like about your job? You say I just love doing what I do.
Yeah.
But what do you think
hands
just
down.
brings this vision to you? Because if you ask me, Ryan, sit down here and draw this plan. That's what makes each one of us. God made us so unique. But I couldn't. If you gave me a week, I couldn't do what you do in an hour, probably. Right? What do you think just gets you?
I mean, just the creation, just literally just coming up with stuff from nowhere. I mean, sometimes I'll start with the garage and draw out from there. Sometimes I'll start with the kitchen and draw from there.
Yeah.
There's never a single point in which I start in. It's just so much fun. I really enjoy just creating things, and I've been a creator my whole life. I was a musician and an artist, and took tons of art classes and tons of drawing classes, and I just love creating things. That's my favorite thing to do is create. So I build furniture from nothing. I do everything like that. Just building things and creating things. And so when you get done, you can stand back and go, man, look what I did.
I did that.
I did that with
Sure.
my hands. My dad was a master carpenter growing up, and I learned carpentry and built things with him, decks and everything. Everything. I've touched everything in this room at one point in time. I've
Mhm.
done myself. So it's just one of those really rewarding things to go, hey man, when I'm long gone, this stuff will still be here. You know, it's sort of like a, this was me, this was my thing, like it might not be my house, but it was my creation that these people will live in and appreciate till the day they die. So,
Barry, I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about that the other day. Is one day we're gonna be gone, right? And we'll have obviously grandkids coming up, great grandkids, and one day they'll be able to drive through the neighborhoods we've done and be like, my grandpa did this.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then you'll be able to say, your grandkids will say, my grandpa designed every one of these homes in here from scratch.
Every home, yeah.
Every home.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. That's good you started with it because when you started with this, we didn't have the subdivisions yet. So you actually have every home in there.
Every single home. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is
very inspirational to me.
So awesome. I tell you, you can't, I know I was asking you to put into words, but it's almost impossible to put into words to be able to explain what we do, how, it makes us feel. And I think that's why it's so good is because we just love it so much.
Yeah.
I just love it. I mean, getting up in the morning and coming to work and like, who do I get to meet today? What family do I get to meet today? And it's like, we're looking at the schedule and it's like, oh, great. I'm meeting Julia and the Waldrop family today. And it's like, oh man, this is awesome. And this is like, what do they got? What's their creation? Are we in their budget? Do we need to help them get to their budget? It's just all those things. It's like, how can we get this family to the finish line and make their dreams come true? And it's like when you hand them the keys and see her smile on the face and hand them their gifts. Can't put words to it.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. So I really enjoy what I do. So there's no other way to put it. And it's very rare to find or meet anybody that ever says that about their job.
Sure.
It's like, it's not a job really. It's just, wake up, go work, draw, come home. It's pretty cool.
So I want to talk a little bit, get into this before, as we get out of the drawing world, let's get into the RV world.
Okay.
What do you say?
All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So here about a year ago, you buy an RV. So tell me I want to hear it again, but you told me a little bit about it, but what's your true passion you want to do here coming up in?
I'm taking that thing to Denali.
All the way to
Denali. So we're doing a trial run this summer. We're going to Yellowstone for 2 weeks. So we're going to try, see how we feel on the road and all that stuff with the new truck and the trailer and all that. But the end goal is to go all the way to Denali and back in that thing.
And you said that'll take how long?
It is, I think, 4,500 miles one way. So it's going to take, I think, like almost a week to get there and a week to get back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a long haul. It really is. Most of it's in Canada. But I love traveling. I love the mountains and sitting behind the wheel for hours, just seeing cool stuff.
So that happens in the summer.
Correct.
Because up there it's thawed out then.
Right. And wife being a school teacher, summer's always the best time to go. Yeah. So no, I can't wait to do that. So
what sprung this on you?
Well, the fact that I've always wanted to go to Alaska.
Okay.
And I just one day come across an article about the Alaska Highway. And I just started reading about the Alaska Highway and everything it has to offer, all the wildlife and the scenery and just everything along it. And I was like, wow, you can actually do this. And people do it all the time. They just jump in their camper and cruise all the way up there. So I'm very determined to do it. So I cannot wait to hit the road and try this out. So,
well, Barry, when you told me that, I thought to myself, I don't know if I would ever want to drive 4,500 miles one way to see anything, but that's what makes us all different. You love it and you got a passion for it. And I know you bought a camper and then your truck wasn't quite big enough.
Yep.
So we upgraded the truck. Now the truck, you said, handles it great.
Yep.
So it looks like you got your Yellowstone trip lined up.
Got it all lined up.
You'll be ready. Yeah. Barry, of all the things that amaze me about you, and drawing homes is definitely one of them. I'm gonna tell you and the audience another thing that just blew my mind. It might take me a week, if ever, to get a Rubik's Cube done with colors. And this guy right here will get it done in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's the way your brain, but I'm just telling you, this guy, and it's done.
Yep.
So if you ever want to have fun with him, come into his office and mess his Rubik's Cube up and watch him fix it in a matter of seconds. So
just, when you get your mindset on doing something, I don't stop until it's accomplished. So,
well, another way that I did it, pull the stickers off.
Well, yeah, that's one way to do it. So,
that's cheating though, right?
Right. Yeah. So I just get hyper focused on things, and when I want to learn something or do something like, my travel trailer in the RV, I mean, I'm to the point now where I could probably be an RV tech, because I just do so much research on things when I get focused on something. So like learning SketchUp, same
Yeah.
thing, I just get hyper focused on it, and I'm not going to stop until I'm proficient.
Mm-hmm.
So I am with everything, really.
So we know about all your passions. One more of your favorite, I know, is NASCAR.
Yep.
And tell us who your favorite.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson's your favorite driver.
Yep.
And you went and watched him this
He
weekend
did.
in Austin.
Yeah.
And that was you said motor track?
Road course.
Road course.
Yeah.
Road course.
So,
So
yeah.
I'm not much in the NASCAR, but I'm trying to learn a little more. A lot of my friends like Barry here are big NASCAR people. So I'm going to have to find me a driver though. It's like, that's the whole deal, right?
That's the big thing.
You got to
yeah.
find a driver, and then
Yep.
you got to follow that guy.
Yep.
And you got to just learn his every move,
Yeah.
and then you get into the game more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know watching the NASCAR in the theater room is pretty cool because you get bigger screen and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
So I don't know. I've never been to a course, but Barry says I got to get to one.
Yeah.
He
gotta
said
go,
it'll change
gotta
me.
go.
So.
They are so much fun.
Well, Barry, we always end on one thing. I've been asking you all these questions and going through this, but if you could ask me any question at all, what would it be?
Man. All right. What's your favorite aspect of building these things? What is your favorite thing about what we do?
That's a good question, Barry. Obviously, I love it all,
Right.
but I would say my least favorite is what you do because I can't do it.
Right. Yeah.
But my most favorite, outside of meeting every customer and learning about them and learning how they live and their family styles, and a lot of times how we've probably crossed paths in the future, my favorite thing is when a customer comes to me with something that I haven't done,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I come to you, Barry, and I'm like, check it out.
Yeah.
This homeowner has this idea. So it's like, we've never done this before, but
Right.
obviously doesn't mean it can't be done, right?
Right.
So what I love the most is when I get to get outside that normal home and a customer challenges me with, can we do this?
Right.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We did a home here a while back, had 2 hidden rooms in it.
Right.
Remember we did the hidden doors going to a spiral staircase,
Yeah.
going up. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
those
like,
are
man, it's
cool.
super cool. And then I was like, I want a pocket door for a dog, but I don't want it like this one. I want it, more custom. So we get with our team and man, we knock it out. And the guy's like, I want a cigar room, humidifier.
Right. Yeah.
To put that. So it's like, great, let's do it. So we built the humidor, and a couple of years ago, I never built the full safe room. And then,
Right.
and then they come to us, and then remember you drew it up from all the way from scratch. You did it
Right,
in
yeah.
SketchUp, and we showed the CMU walls, showed the rebar,
Door.
the door,
Everything. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that
So
was
it's like
really
we
cool.
created this
Yeah.
full safe room, and now since then, since that family down south, we've probably done 4 or 5.
Yeah. At least.
And it's like everybody's like, "Hey, you ever done this?" And I'm like, "Yes,
Yep.
yes, I have done it." And they're like, "Oh, cool." And then I can talk through it. But the first customer is like, "Oh man, I
Right.
have it, but let's do it."
Yeah.
Like, man, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's like the first one. Always you got learnings, and you may do a lot of research, and I get my team involved, and we make sure we do it right, obviously. But it's like learn from other builders, learn from their trades. I have a lot of friends that are in the trade that build as well, and just talk to them if they've done it, and it's pretty cool. So, as we get in, the biggest thing about home building is it's always changing, right? There's always a more efficient way to build your home. There's always a better structural way to build your home, cost-effective way of building your home. And I'm always challenged with how can I find those? How can I help that homeowner when they invest in R&D Custom Builders for their investment in their home, when they trust in us for their investment? How do I make sure that they're getting their absolute best bang for their buck, your top dollar for your investment? Because you're investing in this home forever. You're going to live in it more than likely till you pass on, or until you move to nursing home and give it to your kids. But I mean, it's a lifetime investment that you're making,
It's a big
and
thing.
you're trusting in R&D to make them dreams and that financial decision real. So what can I do to make sure it's the way you want it? And Barry helps with that, drawing it the way you want it, and the flow and design for your family to fit y'all's needs. That's great. But, on top of that, what can we do to make sure that 20 years from now, your investment is sitting there, and instead of devalue, it's appraising in value, and the value is going up? How do we do those things? Well, it's bringing in better products that last longer, hardy products. We don't, your exterior of your home, we want it to be 100% hardy, to where it'll never It'll never rot. You don't have to worry about painting your fascia every 10 years, worrying about it rotting. You can drive through a neighborhood, the one we did out in, where we're still building in. We're in phase 3 of Century Oaks, and those homes were built in 19.
Yeah.
Coming up on almost 10 years old. So they're 7 years old. And when you drive in that street, it's like, go drive down both streets and tell me which one was built,
Right.
5 years before the other one. And it's really hard to tell. So that's what's important to me. How do we make sure we use the absolute best products? But then again, when you use the best products, obviously that a lot of times that comes with cost, right? So like, let's just use paint, for example. When you're painting your home, I want to use the best paint. Well, the best paint's more expensive. However, as being a larger company, we go to Sherwin-Williams and we say, all right, guys, here's the deal. I want to use that best paint, but obviously I don't want to pay the premium price. So what can we do? Obviously, we partner up with the rep, and they said, well, at your volume, let's get you a better discounted rate. And now we're painting with Super Paint, which is down at the other paint's price. Sorry. So we got a better paint, a level up paint, but same price. Yeah. So anyway, I was like, oh, wow, look at this. So anyway, it's just how we work behind the scenes. So at the end of the day, yeah, if you when you entrust an R&D to build your home, I'm telling you right now, I want you to come to me with something that's fun, unique, and
challenging.
Barry challenges. Yeah, like I challenged Barry. I said, man, Barry, come on, give me something, man. Yeah. Give me this unique model. And what'd you do? You delivered. That's exactly what I asked for. I asked for something custom and unique and different, and Barry did it. So that's what we're all about. This team, I don't ever want to get stagnant. I don't ever want to get in like Barry back in your previous employer. Let's just move this wall, move that wall. I don't want to get into those semi-custom plans. I want to stay custom. And it's, speaking to a guy this morning, it's an industrial engineer, and he said, nothing to do with we're building his daughter's home, and he goes, I want nothing to do with commercial. I mean, the residential world. I want to stay in the commercial world. And I told him, I want nothing to do with the commercial world. I want to stay in the residential world. And he says, that's smart, because when you find a niche, stay in that niche, but obviously figure out a way to make it better. And that's what we do every day, Barry. And I come to you all the time and challenge you and say, you're like, well, man, I've never done that. I'm like, Barry, come on, homeowner wants it. Let's make it happen. And Barry's like, boom, let's make it happen. So anyway, thank you, Barry, for that question. Yeah, that's definitely what I love the most is the unique and new challenges that homeowners bring us. And, obviously we have financial challenges all the time that I'm trying to figure out better ways. So stay tuned. And if you follow us on social media, Facebook, you'll be able to see our Riding with R&D and be able to see our new design center coming together as we speak. I'm super excited about that. A lot of good ways that I've partnered up with the wholesalers to bring customers great. Again, go back to the paint deal, same level of quality of products, but damn at that reduced cost. So anyway, we're always every day trying to figure out a way to get just a little better for you, the customer. This podcast, I hope this helps, let people know who we are. I just want them to know that deep down, we're just good old local country boys, Barry.
Right.
Just trying to have a good time, right?
Yeah.
We're just dads that coach T-ball.
There you go.
Just NASCAR guys going to games. Just hunters sitting in blinds. I mean, it's who we are. So fun stuff. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up, Barry?
No, I'm good.
You're good. All right.
Had fun.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed. This is Barry Eggert, our main man on the keyboard there, making your dreams come true and drawing your box sets every day. And when you give R&D a call, Barry's going to be drawing your home. Thank you all very much for joining us today for Behind the Build, and please tune in because we got a lot more fun stuff coming your way.